Alright, this just blows me away. This deserves a slightly longer form video. I did a short here showing the valley and how this was lapped backwards. I took out one further shingle, one shingle more since that short was just shot, and I want to show a little more on what actually happens here and just going a little bit deeper on where this leak is originating from with this type of roof setup. A lot of the times what I see when you have a wall coming up and you got what I call a return, other guys in other parts of the world and country may call it something else, but I call it a little return. And you got a valley up here. This is a dormer section. Water comes down the valley and pours out. Most of the time I see the leaks originate from no flashing under here or sloppy cut shingles. So at some point, this fascia board dives into the roof deck really hard and tight, or actually in and not room to shove shingles under or flash. They cut a shingle, looks like this, it's notched out to shove up to that point, and there's an area water flows in. That's one of the most common issues. The other is where the flashing terminates too short up here. So say they did extend flashing and step flashed it or ran a shingle up under, at some point it originates right here. The third is the fact that the valley is not laced correctly, or the valley metal, valley flashing, ice and water, W valley, whatever it is lapped backwards. So if you look at this, by the way, there's a soft piece of rotten wood in here. We got to flat bar the valley out. Never a fun repair because you got to take the high side and the low side to get into your valley and start this repair. Got to get a sheet of wood out right here, taken out. Got to take this gutter loose here, take the fascia metal loose, which, by the way, I don't think they did any kind of wall flashing, step flashing, roof flashing. They simply took the roll. Well, maybe not, because that looks like a wood grain. This is smooth. Nevertheless, it's probably not put in there right. And probably didn't flash any of that. They also nailed this and trim nailed it right through the roof and the face, and over time those have started wallering out, getting leaking here, coming down further. It's completely soft here. You poke a hole through the roof, but it starts because all this valley is dumping down under the shingles. So any water comes down your valley not laced right, or if there's ever a leak in the valley, this is the last defense, it's running down up under the shingles here. You can see it's also a really sloppy cut. You can see the dirty water trail that this shingle has right here. That's evidence of water over the course of years pouring down, carrying debris and trickling in. And it's a very sloppy cut shingle. Doesn't go up high enough. You could easily have shoved it up under there, because I can get my fingers up under there. You can see it up under there. Why was it cut so sloppy like that? Why was the metal not on top of a row of shingles? This should never even be here. Shingle runs up. You got your step flashing, starts and pours out on top of a shingle, then a shingle, then a step, then a shingle and a step. Repeat that process all the way past your termination right here. Then at that point, you're going to run your edge metal over apron, whatever it is. This is actually drip edge. It should be apron. Apron comes up the roof deck higher and down into your roof gutter, your fascia board farther. Gives it more room for the seal, ice and water to seal. That's another whole debate in its own, whether you should run it under or on top. Honestly, both is better. But my choice of material is not drip edge. Should be apron. Once that's over, and then your ice and water down on top of it, any of your valley metal, W valley, anything like that, should come out plenty far, even leaving a web. So not cutting it at a 90 like that, but actually web it out. So it gets the water coming off your valley down and ensures it on top of a row of shingles right here. You can at that point then, after this row, the second row, then run your shingle out. So this would have been a visible buildup here. That next row, I would have run one shingle here, run one more this direction and laced those, then continued on with the dormer side because it's lower, or I guess in this case they're both the same height. You could have done either one. Same pitch as well. There's a kind of a trade-off on if a section is steeper than another section. Generally, the rule of thumb, if they're all the same slope, same pitch of the roof, whatever is lower, you would run that first, and then the next one can cross over. Kind of hard to describe like this right here, but just trust me, sloppy, careless cuts like this and metal lapped backwards, it's a big no-no. Now the repair, to get this replaced and buy them a little bit more time, because the roof is not shot, it is getting old, it does have stuff going on with it. It's probably about 20 years old. There's a couple of loose shingles coming loose right there, but we've got to flat bar all that out, as I said, remove this section right here, get the rotten wood out, put a new piece of decking in, which is a pain. Might need to put some nailers into there because sometimes you can't get your sheet to rest on the framing because the siding, everything comes out farther. It's just going to be a chore, costly, because of some simple, careless, neglectful, incompetent, world's best, world's fastest roofers. Sorry for the sarcasm there, but man, I see it way too much. You want the fastest roofer or a good quality roofer? There's a big trade-off. You don't get both. You know, it's really hard to get a good price and a good quality roof. You can have a fast roof, a cheap roof, a good roof, but you typically don't get all of them at the same time. There's sayings in it. I got a lot on my mind. I got to get this done before I got to get to the bus stop, so we're going to cut this one short here at 5.5 minutes. If you like to give it a thumbs up. If you like to see the actual repair work videos, let me know. It does take a lot of time. Strap a GoPro on or find somebody who wants to record it. So anyway, just want to go a little bit more in depth on how a valley lacing should be, the sloppy cuts and things like that. So if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next video.